obviously kick off the broadcast section, then we'll go into BeanymanSports. All ready? Over to you, Max.
Hello.
Morning, Arsene. Will we start by getting the latest team news ahead of the Stoke game?
Well, from Tuesday night we have no injuries, I hope, and everybody looked to have recovered well, and coming back into the squad, of course Coughlin, who was suspended, and maybe Bellerin, who has a team test today.
And the latest on Danny Welbeck and Mertesacker as well?
They're recovering well, but of course we are a few weeks away to join in again.
You've already had 2 big away wins this week. How confident are you that you'll be able to bring that form back to Emirates Stadium?
That's the target, is of course to win our next game, and we have a good level of confidence. We have a good run. We have recently scored goals, you know, and if you look well, you speak about away games. It's true that we have scored more goals away from home than at home, and we want to transfer now to our home games as well.
This weekend's game is the charity match day, of course, and for the 10th year in a row, yourself and your players will be donating a day's wage to the Arsenal Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Just how important is it for you to be able to give back?
Look, football is a privileged world, and the charity and the foundation is part of our DNA at the club. We are very proud, of course, to have our own foundation and to help people who are less privileged than we are all over the world. And basically we focus on building pitches in areas where people have not that privilege, and I think we do that quite well, even if you feel in this domain that you never do enough, but we dedicate a lot of energy inside our club to our foundation.
Just finally from me, how much would you encourage the fans to give what they can to the Arsenal Foundation this week?
Very much. You know, people who can, of course, if they can contribute to our foundation, it will be very helpful, and I'm sure many fans will do that.
Arsene Santi Cazorla has described his surgery as, I think, perfect. How pleasing is that? How would you describe it?
For me, it's a different way to say that the surgery is perfect, but you can say it was needed and it went well. But after, you have to see how he recovers from that. I'm positive that he will recover from it very quickly, but once you open your body in top-level sport, it means 2 months later, at least, you can play again, if all goes well.
A lot of uncertainty this week over the long-term futures of Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil. Mm-hmm. They both have 18 months on.
Depends what you call the long-term. Yes, 18 months is quite long in football, you know.
I hear what you say, but what assurances can you give to Arsenal fans right now?
None, that they have 18 months contract and that they are completely committed and to do well as long as they are here.
And beyond that?
Beyond that, we'll try to extend their contract, but I cannot make a subject of that in every press conference, because that's normal part of every renewal that when you negotiate, you know, the less you talk about it, the better it is.
Alexis Sanchez apparently has an offer for £400,000 a week to go to China. When you hear that kind of thing, do you believe it?
I believe it, yes, why not? But why should you go to China today when you play in England?
I mean, you said it's not about the money necessarily, or not just about the money. It's about, you know, the other things and meeting the players' needs.
Yeah.
I mean, just how important is that side of things to players?
Look, I believe that we live in a world where the money, the great players like Sanchez and Ozil earn a lot of money, and they have the privilege to choose where they really want to play.
Will you have to break the current wage structure to keep them? And are you prepared to do that?
Look, we will, like always, do the maximum we can for every single player.
Mesut Ozil, apparently today, if he doesn't or isn't prepared to take less money, the club would be willing to listen to offers. Is that true?
No, we are, I don't know where we find these players have 18 months contract, and no matter what happens, they will stay 18 months and hopefully for much longer.
Listen, you're unbeaten in the Premier League since the opening day, since the defeat against Liverpool. You won 5-1 at West Ham last weekend. Just how well do you think you are playing?
We are playing well, but we have plenty of room for improvement. I think we want to develop as a team, and that's what we have done since the start of the season. As you mentioned, we had a very difficult start, and since we have responded very well, but I feel the team is on the way upwards, but we have as well to show that first of all we can improve, that we have a desire to improve as a team, and as well that we can repeat the performances week in, week out, and Stoke is another challenge for us, that we can reset, refocus, and continue our development and take the points.
After the 0-0 draw against Stoke back in January, I think you described it as an old-fashioned battle. Are they words that...
It's possible, yes.
Do you regret that expression or not?
No, what is wrong with old-fashioned battle?
I think Mark Hughes took...
Sorry?
I think Mark Hughes took exception to it.
No, there's a lot of, I think when you have a complete commitment, like what makes basically the English Premier League special, and I would not say that it was not, in my mind, in my spirit, was not negative at all.
Is the whole subject, Arsene, of players' contracts the worst part of being a manager nowadays? Is it the most frustrating, taxing, worrying part of your job?
No, it has always been a part of my job, and it's always been difficult, you know. But the problem is when the players have a big name, it's a repetition of always the same things, because you're always asked exactly the same things. But that doesn't improve the speed of the negotiations. It doesn't improve the speed of decision making. You have to respect the process in every single negotiation. Sometimes it goes very quick, sometimes it's slow. And the only handicap when it's slow is that you get that served in every press conference.
So, one more on that subject. While there is uncertainty about players' future, how worried are you that it sometimes could have a corrosive effect on the dressing room itself if players' futures
we are all professionals, you know. I think 18 months is a long time in the game, and I don't believe that is any problem.
So, different subject. FIFA are hoping now for a 48-team World Cup sometime in the future. Your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, I believe that is that guided for popular reasons, or is that guided to improve the level of football? I'm a bit skeptical, but if somebody can convince me that it will make football better and that we can live with the time that it will take to complete the World Cup, I'm ready to listen. At the moment, I think I'm not convinced. You know, we have moved to 24 teams in Europe. That's basically 50% of the teams we have in Europe. I can't see that being a huge improvement on the quality of a game. But 48 teams, we have about 300 teams in the world. The percentage is not, looks that could be accepted.
And as a club manager, how do you view then the qualifying process? Because one would imagine that qualifying won't be that competitive if so many teams are getting...
Yeah, the qualifying in Europe has become already, I think, has to be changed already, because you look at the percentage of wins of the big countries in the qualifiers. They go to the big tournaments, they have 90% wins, and then the competition starts, you know, so the qualifiers are outdated, the way the competitions is organized now, when we have to rethink about the process because of the number of games the players play who have no really meaning.
Thank you. Arsene, good morning. As we head towards almost the halfway point of the season and you assess where your team is right now, in the light of the way things are going in the Premier League and obviously top of the Champions League qualifying group, I wonder how you reflect on your team at the moment, and if you sense a greater maturity perhaps this season, or something steel perhaps that maybe wasn't there last season or the last few seasons.
Yeah, I believe that first of all we have a good team dynamic, we have a very strong team spirit, and we have more maturity, for definite, yes. Unfortunately, the teams around us have as well more, and I would say today you can assess the Premiership as very open, but very interesting as well, because we have many big games, and on our side that we are in the middle of the fight and we have a chance. So in December, that's very interesting. As you know, December is a very important month, and for us even more, because we have, of course, big games during the month of December. But overall, I'm very happy with the way we behave and with the consistency of our desire.
You've been asked a lot about Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez in a transfer sense this morning. On the pitch, they've been so important to what Arsenal have done this season, haven't they?
Yeah, they have been hugely important. I think, you know, you can talk a lot in a press conference, but the most important thing is what the players do on the football pitch. And the commitment of Sanchez and Ozil is absolutely total for the team benefit, and I'm very pleased with that. We are professional football people, and people forget many times that the first quality of a professional guy is to give absolutely 100% as long as he is somewhere, and not to project yourself on two years. It's here and now. That's what it means to be professional. Here and now I'm fully committed to the cause, and it's what it is about.
And why do you think they've been so prolific so early in the season, perhaps compared to previous seasons, in terms of numbers of goals scored and assists?
I would say that our chances created are cleaner and clearer, and that's why our finishing is better. We create good quality chances because we have a good team dynamic, and that's what we want to create as well at home. I feel away from home we play with freedom because we have a good level of confidence, and at home we have to let the handbrake go as well and play with full flow, and then we will score more goals.
And one last one from me. Now we know for sure the possible teams in that Champions League last 16 draw. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have a sense it might be Real Madrid coming your way?
You know as well, you look at the teams you can get, some look more prestigious, more difficult, and you would like me to say, I do not want this, I do not want that, but that will put us already in an inferior position if it happens. So yes, you can take Real Madrid, who is maybe a favorite to win because they are the holders of a competition, but even against Real Madrid, we'll have a chance to qualify, and we'll have to do absolutely the maximum to achieve that, because it's another inconvenient fact for us. We have not qualified for 6 years for the quarterfinal, and that will be a huge challenge for my group, but I'm sure we will relish that.
Last one then.
The draw's on Monday, I think, 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Presumably you'd be training, so you wouldn't watch it.
No.
Because I think people have this image of you sort of watching it from behind the sofa after the last one.
No, I prefer to be on the pitch than being nervous in front of a television.
I mean, you must feel you're due a bit of luck, though, given the draws you've had in the last few years.
Look, I don't know who decides the luck, but I haven't found a way to speak to this person.
Do you think psychologically, though, having topped the group, it will have a positive impact in the Premier League for the team?
Yes, of course. Every positive achievement makes you stronger as long as you keep the urgency level.
And just finally, sorry to go back to the contracts, but just wondering, in the past, when players have run their contracts down here, sometimes you got to the final year, I'm thinking Robin van Persie, and decided to sell them. Is that not going to happen in this case with Ozil and Sanchez?
I'm not the only one who can decide that, you know. Contract is a negotiations between, in this case, between two parties, and you need, on my side, the best position is to achieve it earlier.
Yeah, but if you get to next summer and there's no agreement, you wouldn't consider selling either of them?
No, I told you just these players will stay at least for 18 months. I cannot repeat always the same things. I think at some stage you have as well to accept that negotiations are private and secret, and we do not always have to come out to explain every day what we do in football negotiations. We are professional people. We work until the last day of our contract with full commitment.
Okay, we can just come in for the daily. Thank you.